The smell of smoke hit me as soon as I walked through the gate. Strange, no one was supposed to be on the property. My mother-in-law, Valentina Petrovna, had only promised to water the tomatoes and cucumbers while my husband and I were away on business. I'd given her the keys a week ago, completely trusting her. 40 years of knowing each other, 17 years of family ties. How could I have imagined a catch? The door to the country house was wide open. The first things I noticed were the overturned chairs in the living room, a broken vase on the floor, and the guns in my grandmother's crystal ashtray. Bottle marks, crumbs, and greasy stains were on the table. The air smelled of tobacco and alcohol. Someone's socks were strewn in the corner. My heart started pounding. I went into the kitchen, where the scene was even worse. Mountains of unwashed dishes. Salad remnants in expensive plates that we saved for special occasions. There was a burnt frying pan on the stove, the refrigerator was open, and the groceries were scattered. I went upstairs. It was the same in the bedroom. The bed was rumpled, the pillows were on the floor, and most importantly, the box with my jewelry was missing from the dresser. The very one that held my mother's emerald earrings and the ring I inherited from my great-grandmother. When I came back downstairs, the grandfather clock was gone from the wall, and the antique candlestick from the fireplace. My hands were shaking as I dialed my mother-in-law's number. Valentina Petrovna, what happened at the dacha? It's a complete mess. Oh, Mashenka, have you arrived already? I thought you were still on a business trip. She sounded confused. Yes, just tidied up a bit, watered the flowers. What flowers? It looks like the whole neighborhood has been out here. And my jewelry is gone. Jewelry? What are you saying, my dear, what jewelry? Maybe you left it in town? I hung up. No, that wouldn't do. I remembered the CCTV cameras. They'd installed them last year after the crash series in neighboring areas. I turned on my laptop and logged in. What I saw exceeded all my expectations. Valentina Petrovna wasn't alone with her. There was a whole group, 5 people, men and women in their 50s and 60s. They brought a grill, skewers, a case of vodka and cognac. They threw a real feast. The recording showed them grilling meat, laughing loudly, and dancing to music from the speaker. My mother-in-law took center stage, showing off the house, as if bragging about her possessions. And at 11 p.m., the real revelry began. One woman tried to dance on the table but fell, knocking everything off the countertop. A middle-aged man urinated right on the rosebed. But the worst part came at the end. As the group was getting ready to go home, I clearly saw one of the women stuff my jewelry box into her bag. Another hides her grandfather's watch under her sweater. The man takes the candlestick, and Valentina Petrovna sees it all and says nothing. Moreover, she helps them carry their things out to the car. The blood rushed to my head. For 17 years, I considered this woman almost like a mother. I listened to her lectures, endured her criticism, cared for her during illnesses. And she brought thieves into our house, saved all the recordings on a flash drive, took screenshots of the most important moments. Now I had ironclad evidence. Valentina Petrovna called again. Come to the dacha right now and bring all your friends. Why, Mashenka? What happened? You'll see. I'll wait in an hour. If you don't come, I'll go straight to the police with the video recording. There was silence on the line. What video recording? From the surveillance cameras, where you can clearly see your guests carrying out my things. She arrived 40 minutes later. Not alone with 3 people from yesterday's company. A thin woman of about 60, a plump man with a beard, and a youthful-looking woman in a bright dress. Here, meet my daughter-in-law, Maria Valentina Petrovna. She tried to force a smile. Mashenka, this is Tamara Ivanovna, Viktor Semenovich, and Delina Mikhailovna. Nice to meet you. I stood on the porch, not inviting anyone in. Where are my things? Tamara Ivanovna brazenly raised her chin. What things? We didn't take anything. I took out my laptop and started recording. All four froze, watching yesterday's celebration unfold on the screen. They became especially tense when it came to the part about taking out the jewelry. So what? Viktor Semenovich tried to maintain his impudence. Maybe this was some kind of setup? It was. I switched to a different angle, showing exactly how Tamara Ivanovna was hiding the jewelry box. Do you want me to call in an expert? Let them establish the authenticity of the recording. Galina Mikhailovna suddenly burst into tears. I told you it wasn't right. Valia, you said these were your shared things. Shut up, my mother-in-law barked at her. So that's it. I felt everything inside me go cold with determination. You have two options. First, in an hour, all my things will be on this table. Every single one. Second, I'm filing a lawsuit tomorrow morning. With evidence, testimony from neighbors who complained about the noise, and an expert assessment of the damage. Are you crazy? Valentina Petrovna tried to go on the offensive. I'm like a mother to you. You're nothing to me, I exploded. Mothers don't bring thieves into their homes. Mothers don't steal from their own families. Tamara Ivanovna was the first to cave. Fine, fine. I'll return it. Just not to court, please. My grandchildren have work. I'll return it, Viktor Semyonovich muttered. The clock is at home. An hour and a half later, all my things were indeed lying on the garden table. A jewelry box, a grandfather clock, a candlestick, even some costume jewelry I'd missed. The thieves stood there, their heads bowed. Now get out, and I never want to see you again, I said to my mother-in-law's friends. They left in silence. Valentina Petrovna stayed. Mashenka, my daughter, she suddenly spoke in a belittling tone. Forgive the silly old woman. You got me into trouble. I wanted to show my friends what a thrifty daughter-in-law I have, what a beautiful dacha. And they decided to celebrate my thriftiness by stealing. No, it's not stealing. They thought these were common things. I told them so, but they drank a little, relaxed. Give it back anyway. They gave me the keys. Give me back the keys to the house and the dacha. I held out my hand. She slowly took the keys off her bag and put them in her palm. And never ask for them back again. This house is closed to you forever. Mashenka, how can this be? And who will water the garden? We'll manage ourselves. She left, sobbing and muttering something about the ingratitude of young people. I was left alone among the mess I had to clean up. But strangely, my soul was at peace. For the first time in 17 years, I set boundaries and refused to be taken advantage of. The trust that had built up over the years was shattered in one evening. But I realized that sometimes the most painful lessons are the most valuable. When my husband found out, he fully supported my decision. He said it was high time to stop this lack of brotherhood. We really do water our own garden now, and our family relationships have become more honest, albeit colder. Do I ever regret it? No, some things are unforgivable, and self-respect is more valuable than any family ties. Thank you for listening to the end. If you found this story interesting, subscribe to the channel and like it so you don't miss new videos.